Hello guys and welcome back to my channel once again. It is your boy Prince of What is back here with What If Luffy was Aizen's Reincarnation Part 2, Shattered. You will understand why it is named Shattered later. Actually, it's pretty freaking awesome why. Oh, I'm going to love making this series. I hope you enjoyed the last one. I'm doing this in advance, so I don't really know if you liked it or not. I haven't even checked for the comments or the views. So yeah, tell me what you think down below, all that, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell to stay up to date on all my future videos, and without any further ado, let's get into it with the recap. Let's begin with Luffy strolling into Makino's bar where he meets the red-haired pirates and he would show his black blade, leaving the pirates shocked and amazed. Through this, he and the pirates come to like each other, and one day Higuma would then show up, try to mess with them, but Shanks and his crew almost kill him and his bandits. They would run away and later are killed by some of Blue Gem and his men, and they were hired by Outlook the Fourth, who is the father of Sabo, and who, like all the nobles on this island, are under Luffy's command. The very same day, Luffy would then stab his own back door through the Gum Gum fruit, and he would meet Joy Boy / Nika himself, who never resides in his blade. Later, Luffy would then meet Ace when Shanks and his men leave, and he's given the straw hat. Luffy and Ace connect over both their fathers being wanted and the fact that they both essentially have had bounties on their heads since the day they were born. Luffy would then also meet Sabo, train him and Ace after turning them into this world's version of Fullbringers, the first Fullbringers. Years have passed and Luffy sits on his own. He saves Kobe after splitting out Vita's ship, and half since her men tried to mess with him after coming on his ship and just bothering him. Luffy and Kobe then went to Shell Island, but Luffy recruits Zoro, and then Kobe is left behind and joins the Marines. Luffy and Zoro move to an island where they meet Nami. Luffy knocks out all the men chasing her, and then they go to Buggy, who isn't exactly afraid of Luffy because he has a fruit that just lets him not be affected by cuts. But when Luffy gives him back his map and goes to leave, they're attacked by a Buggy Ball, and this is when Buggy learns that Luffy can actually cut him regardless of his devil fruit, and he actually just blows away the entire Buggy Ball. It doesn't even freaking matter, bro. Yeah, I know I just said that. I just wanted to, it's just amazing. Nami then joins the crew for now because of the benefits of getting more treasure. They got some treasure from Buggy from just kicking them off, and they head off once again. They arrive at Usopp's home, meet him, go eat, and Luffy will then invite him to his crew. Usopp says he'll think about it, but had to leave. And as he does, Luffy makes it known to Nami and Zoro that he had given them haki, and they will start to change in some ways, like how Ace, who was the Fire Emperor, had a bunch of abilities despite not eating a devil fruit. Now we will stay on the crew eating at the pub when the Usopp pirates then run over, and Onion would have a blade pointed forward, as would his two other friends. What did you do to Captain Usopp? Asked Pepper. Okay, calm down, said Nami. Right as Luffy would then smile, saying, actually, we just couldn't resist, you know, we cut him up. The kids get scared, and Zoro would then smile, saying, then we ate him. Ah, no, Captain Usopp, the kids yell at Zoro, and Luffy would then laugh, while Nami would then yell for him to knock it off. What did you do, you evil lady? Asked Carrot. Do I look like I eat people, you idiots? Alright. He's okay. He just went to see someone, said Luffy. So you're not here to fight us? Asked Onion. As a matter of fact, I want to bring him into my crew. The kids were amazed that even Straw Hat wants their captain, and Zoro would then ask where he actually went. He probably went to see Miss Kaya. She's really sick, says Onion. Getting a bit more interested, ask more about this woman and the story behind her and Usopp meeting, and the kids would explain everything. So Luffy now knew what he had to do, and he went over to the mansion. They break in, and the kids would then follow behind, and they would come to see Usopp talking with Kaya across from a tree. Captain! Hey, Captain, yells Onion. Usopp would then recognize the voice and turn to see them, as he would be surprised, and Kaya would be as well, and Kaya would then ask who they are. Walking closer, Luffy then says, I would like for you to allow Usopp to join my pirate crew. Wait, you're pirates? Usopp, that's awesome, says Kaya. Why are you asking her though? Asked Usopp, and Luffy would then say, it's very clear that you feel a responsibility to stay here because of her. It's a shame because I see a very bright future for you on the seas. Usopp is enamored by these words, and it's true that he feels like he should be out on the seas right now, but you know, he wants to stay with his best friend, and Kaya feels as though she is holding Usopp back, you know, because you know she's sick and all that. But right at that moment, Calidor would then arrive, saying, are you aware that you're trespassing? Adjusting his glasses, Calidor would then approach while Usopp makes his way down the tree, right as Luffy would then turn to face the butler. Instantly, however, Calidor would then freeze in his tracks. Kaya would then ask that he pardon Usopp and the others before then saying, Usopp, don't stay because of me, this is what you've always wanted. As Usopp hears this, he feels good to hear from her, but his consciousness just won't let him leave because of his, say, best friend, and of course, someone he has feelings for is still here. And this is when Calidor would say, yes, quite the conundrum. I appreciate it if you could leave the premises, please. Miss Kaya does need her rest. Taking a moment, Luffy would then start walking over, which almost made him attack, but Luffy just walks by saying, sorry. He's right. Come on, guys. Sorry for bothering you, Miss Kaya. It's no problem, she'd say. Walking over to everyone, Usopp would then also say goodbye while saying that he'd be back with some awesome stories. And Usopp would then ask, Luffy, can we talk? You and me alone. Luffy said sure, and as the group left the premises, they split up, as Luffy and Usopp sit at the very same cliff where Usopp almost fell off. And as they look off to the sea, Usopp asks, "So, you really met my dad, huh?" "Yep, the best shooter I ever met." He's a bit obsessed about mentioning his cute son, though. "He talks about me?" Luffy would then nod, and Usopp is happy to hear this, but says, "It's not that I don't want to join you. It's just that..." "Yeah, this is home," says Luffy. "Maybe it's not your time. People are ready at different times, so pick you back up if that's what you want." "Why the hell is he here?" At this point, they would both hear this, and the two would then hear whispering and look down to see over the cliff that Calador and Django were talking, and Django would say, "You're telling me Straw Hat is here? Why would I lie?" "Well, what do we do?" "We keep the same plan. I doubt that he came here for some child's fortune. He practically owns every pirate in the East." "Wait, you do?" whispered Usopp. "Yeah, but more importantly, Calador is trying to commit a heinous act. What are you gonna do?" Usopp quickly then runs down the hill as quietly as he can, as Luffy would then sit straight with his legs crossed, saying, "You idiot, wrong choice." Now, as Usopp makes it to town, he would scream that pirates are near. He tries to do everything he can, but he's done this too much and no one believes him. He then runs to Kaya to tell her that her butler is not who he is. She of course doesn't believe him and he is almost shot by Mary, one of Kaya's butlers. With this also came some villagers who came to chase him away together, and he ends up running to the outskirts where he meets Zoro and Nami, as well as his little crew. "Captain, we heard you. Is that butler really a bad guy?" However, sucking it up, Usopp would then shake his head and smile. "Of course not. I mean, I hate the guy, but there's no way he'd actually be a pirate. It's just a joke, you know?" However, upon hearing this, the kids are disappointed because this is going too far, and they leave because night was falling anyway and they needed to go eat. "Why would you do that?" asked Nami. "I'm a liar. No one's going to believe me anyway. I don't want to involve them in this." "Do they look like they have families?" "They've lost too much. I can't make them lose more." "Well, for a liar, you're pretty nice." "Come on, Luffy's waiting," said Zoro. "Wait, what?" Now, as he follows Nami and Zoro with a nervous sweat, Nami will then say, "That guy is way too smart for his own good. Everything happened just like he said it would." "Wait, he knew this was going to happen? Why didn't he tell me anything? I thought you wanted me and your crew," yells Usopp. As they reach the beach, he sees Luffy, and with anger in his eyes, he runs through and grabs him by the collar. "You trying to mess with me? Kaya's gonna die, Luffy." "I was waiting for you to ask me for help, you dingus. How can I step in if you don't want me to?" Hearing this, Usopp is a bit surprised. He releases his grip, and with a smile, Luffy then tips his hat, saying, "I'll help you. We'll help you." Calador's name is Kuro, a pirate. He probably plans to have his men pillage the village and eventually kill your girlfriend. And then who gets the fortune? Obviously, the only next living... Holy crap, that's smart. I mean, you're insane for figuring that out, says Usopp, but that piece of shit. That's where we come in. What we can do now is wait. Kaya will be safe. He won't dare lay a hand on her for now. A day then passes, and the very next day, the Black Cat Pirates arrive at that very same beach, and they run forward with the battle cry, saying, "Finally, time to pillage something. We've been waiting for way too long. Oh, look, it's Straw Hat. Let's jump them together. He can't beat all of us." All the pirates would then attack him together, but then one of them would then look to their side and be shocked to see a monster, and he would stab it out of reflex. As the monster hits the ground and he starts to bleed out, the man would then look around, seeing that he was surrounded by more of them. What the hell?" Getting up, he starts to attack the monsters, who do the same until he falls over, clawed apart until he's dead out on the floor. Of course, however, what's really going on is that the Black Cats are essentially killing each other off in a bloody massacre, as Django as well as Luffy's group would watch in shock. "What are you idiots doing? This is definitely hypnosis. Don't tell me." He then looks forward to see Luffy on the other side, and in the blink of an eye, he appears right behind the pirate who's then beheaded. "So, perfect hypnosis, huh?" says Usopp. "Yeah, just be happy he's on our side," says Nami. "Hey, Luffy, can you get the treasure?" "I would, but, you know." "Of course, I'll be back," he said, as he then disappeared using Flash Step, and Zoro really now wants to learn that movement technique. Meanwhile, Kaya has started to move from her room. She had woken up today, but found that Calador was not anywhere to be found, so she heads to where he and Mary were sleeping, their sleeping chambers. However, as she opens the door, she's horrified to see Mary lying on the ground in a pool of his own blood. "Oh my god, what happened? Please don't leave. Stay with me." However, Mary with a cough regains consciousness and says not to cry. He would already see that she was despairing, and she would ask what happened at that moment, and he would say, "It was Calador. He tried to kill me. He's a pirate. He's not who he says he is." This left Kaya at a loss for words, as she could not believe the things that she said to Usopp, and how horrible of a friend she was for not believing him. The butler in person, however, Calador, stumbled upon the massacre dealt to his men and was left angered. Nami, Usopp, and Zoro noticed him, and getting excited, Zoro would then put on his bandana and took out all his swords. "Let's have a go, Kuro." Damn it, how did he know? He thought right as Luffy then appeared behind them holding sacks of treasure, and he then dropped them, when Nami would then quickly secure the treasure and thank Luffy, who says no problem, and Luffy then looks to Kuro. "You may have a chance to live if you beat Zoro." "I do it, but..." He then swings Sugetsu aside, and he splits the entire side of the walls beside them, and the hills just slide down, and the shore is just like ruined, and the seas are kind of disturbed, leaving everyone present just shocked. He just destroyed half of a beach, technically. "I can't hold myself back," said Luffy. "He's all yours." Roger Cap, said Zoro as he then rushed forward, taking out his gloves. Kuro would then counter with his bizarre steps as he disappeared and appeared right behind Zoro. And he then claws at him. However, Zoro then blocks without even looking with both his swords before then slashing up with all his might, sending Kuro flying to the skies. Tiger's hunt, he yells. What you're doing is just an inferior version of Luffy's flash step, thought Zoro. As Kuro thuds to the floor, he's left bleeding out right as Kaya and the kids then arrive on the scene, quite surprised by the scene to say the least. And Kaya would then say, so Captain wasn't lying. Well, he lied about telling the truth. That's a new record or something, said Pepper. Kaya meanwhile then approaches and she asks why Calidor would even do this, only for him to curse her out. You spoiled little shit, if you didn't show up, you would be dying in that bed of yours. Years wasted being your butler, all for this. This is what truly breaks Kaya, making him realize that Calidor never existed, and it was just unfathomable as silence then washes over them, while Kuro would die out, never having gotten anything. We fade to black. The next day, Luffy and Zoro will be bringing sacks of gold and treasure onto their new ship, given to them by Kaya. Meanwhile, on the shore, Usopp will be saying goodbye to Kaya and his crew. As much as it hurts to say, the Usopp pirates are disbanded. Don't cry, alright? Who's crying? Not me, that's for sure, said Onion as he tried to hold back his tears much like the others, and even Usopp of course found it hard to keep it together, but he did before then looking to Kaya. Well, I'm off to be a great warrior of the sea. Next time I meet, all of my stories won't just be lies, I promise. Just have fun. I have a feeling Mr. Luffy has a lot in store for you. He's like 17, you know, you're only call him Mr. Really? He just acts so mature, Kaya said. I've been told that a lot, Luffy said as he then pops his head out from the ship, telling Usopp they need to go. And with a nod, Usopp would then scale the ship with the laid out rope ladder until he arrives on the deck. And he would then see some meat, booze laid out, and Zoro was already digging in. Without any wind at all, the Mary would then begin to move on its own, leaving everyone surprised except for Zoro and Nami, who've seen this way too many times. But as the ship rode off, Usopp then waved goodbye to everyone. So, are we going, Captain? Asked Usopp. Well, first things first. Pointing his sword forward, Luffy would then say, Bun Kai. His sword then changes form from a basic katana to one made of pure white energy, as his blade would then have a silk-like energy scarf as its hilt instead, before then being stabbed into the Mary. Upon doing this, he instantly expands the soul of the ship and thus makes the Mary grow to a stupendous size, and all the kids at the shore were left amazed to the point where their eyes were just looking like shooting stars and their jaws were dropped. That's so cool, what the hell? This was the same reaction that Usopp had, and he now saw the deck was gigantic and just wide, and as he stood, Zoro then asked, seriously? What is that thing? The blade then returns to normal and Luffy would then sheath it and take a seat as he takes a sip of booze. Man, this is really good. Don't change the subject, they all yell. They then still laugh as the three would then be asking him why the hell he even did that, and Luffy would eventually explain it. And essentially speaking, he brings his perfect hypnosis to reality in a certain way, allowing his imagination to change the form of things he stabs, well, into anything. He can make anything, almost anything. But now, yeah, the Mary was just huge, the same size as the current Sunny in the manga and anime, meaning that it was also reinforced in general. Its name might have been cute, but its durability was nothing to scoff at now. And as the three continued on their journey, they got used to the size of Mary and fully let Usopp just in. But on one particular day, we find Zoro in a black-like space facing down Luffy as they encircled each other until he rushed forward with his three-sword style, but it is stopped right by the tip of Luffy's blade, and as he swings up once, he cuts through all the blades as Zoro's torso is then cleaved open. As Zoro thuds to the floor and in this black space, it is actually taken away, leaving him lying on the floor of the Mary, sweating bullets, while his blades were actually completely fine, and he wasn't even hurt, and he looked to the sky as Usopp would then say, "You get a hit in? Look at me, does it look like I did?" The real Luffy would then walk up and help him stand, but Zoro was left shivering as he said, "I want another go." "Yeah, I can't do that, it might be hypnosis, but the pain and strain is real." "Yeah, no kidding." Luffy would then give him a towel, saying that he would resume later. "For now, you also need to use that towel to clean your sweat off Mary." As he smirked, Zoro would then say he was being way too harsh, and Luffy said that he shouldn't tire himself out with the necessary movements. "Luffy, come look at this." Nami actually reads some newspapers, then says that his bounty has risen to 100 million, and Zoro was now worth 30 million. "What about me?" asked Usopp. "There's nothing." "Oh, come on! I thought you were too scared for stuff like that. You know Marines are going to be chasing you down every day, right?" With a nervous smile, Usopp would then say maybe he should just get stronger first. But then his binoculars would see something. He tells everyone that there seems to be a ship not too far ahead, and wanting to check it out, they approach and bring on board Yosaku and Johnny. Johnny is quite surprised to see Zoro, and vice versa, but is happy that he's okay. And as Yosaku was being fed fruit to deal with the scurvy, Johnny would be given some water by Luffy, and he takes it saying, "So wow, you really came under the rising swordsman of the East. It's what everyone's calling you." "Hear that, Zoro?" asked Luffy, and he would then be gloating as Zoro says to shut up. "I'm gonna catch up, I just need a little bit more time." He then looks at himself and finds that his body is still shaking from the brush with death, but he just cannot stop himself from wanting to just do more. Johnny can even feel something about Zoro is different. While he looks tired now, he feels more alive than ever. When Yosaku does come due, he would thank the crew, who'd say there's no problem, and Luffy would then say, alright, I guess you guys are on for the ride for now. Ever heard of the Baratie? Yes, that restaurant that sails on the seas. Why are you going there? Asked Johnny. We're gonna be looking for a cook. Truth be told, not a single one of us can make a decent meal. Hey, I try my best, okay, yells Usopp. Well, I'm my sharpshooter, not my chef. So let's go find one. Fine, put me back in though, says Zoro, as he then, like, legitimately looks like he has a death stare, and Luffy would sigh and just tell him to stand still. Hado 90, Black Coffin. An explosion of Ryatsu rises and surrounds Zoro, leaving Johnny and Yosaku shocked as they ask what he just did and how. You eat a double fruit, big bro? Asked Yosaku. Of course not. The two then begin to touch and tap the black box, as Nami will then say to just give up on understanding it. He pulls out stuff that just makes no sense, but at this point we don't care. You can see we're desensitized, said Usopp. Well, what's Big Bro Zoro doing in there? Asked Johnny. Luffy then says that he's training and not to worry about it. Of course they're gonna worry anyway, but Zoro asked for this so they can tell that this is his dream of becoming the strongest swordsman, being led to higher levels. Now, as the days pass, Zoro always trains in that coffin, with Luffy adjusting the gravity in there, so instead of fighting an illusion, he can actually practice his swings, and it does wonders for him. It really does. Slowly but surely, he started to even show a rise in spiritual power, which comes out as haki, and one particular blade of his starts to change in color due to it being injected by Ryatsu, and everyone notices. This, of course, only puts more question into what Luffy did to them, and even Usopp asks for some help in training, so Luffy puts him in as well, and in the same coffin. But as for Nami, well, let's find out what, she wants in person. Hell no, I don't want that, she'd say. Well, that's harsh, said Luffy, as he took a seat by her, and it had been 4 days, and they were nearing Baratie, but she didn't want to train, because as Usopp describes it, it is torture. Well, you gotta break a leg, at some point. I'll be crushed if you put me in there. Then why are you out on the seas, Nami? As Nami stays quiet, however, Luffy will then say it's okay if she doesn't want to talk about it right now, and then they start to actually see the Baratie in view. Zoro and Usopp were currently sleeping from too much training, so Luffy didn't wake them up, while he, Nami, Yosaku, and Johnny headed in. As the group marched into the dining room, however, quickly, the present Marine, Iron Fist Full Body, takes notice of him. Standing from his chair, he abruptly then asks what he's doing here. This guy just had to show up on my freaking date, he thought. Slowly, everyone recognizes the pirate, as Johnny and Yosaku are a bit overwhelmed to have this many eyes on them, but taking a seat, Luffy would then tell Full Body to calm down, while Nami would then also take a seat and pick up a menu. But we should get the fried rice, or maybe the steak. We haven't had it properly. Well, actually, we haven't had cooked meat in a while, said Luffy. They're just going about their day like nothing, thought Johnny. Luffy would then ask them to sit down, and while uncomfortable, they just do, as Sanji would then walk out past Full Body, and he would then tell him to put away his knuckle weapon. You stupid cook, that straw hat, Luffy. You should be in panic. Yeah, well, that pirate has better manners than you. It's kind of embarrassing, isn't it? Honey, maybe you should just leave, said Full Body's date. However, out of anger, the Marine then goes to attack, and Sanji is about to retaliate when his eyes then go blank and he falls forward. The cook would catch him and become confused. Everyone was there and was a bit confused and terrified when Luffy then apologized, saying he was spoiling the mood. His ship is out back. Escort him if you wouldn't mind. He did that? How? He didn't even move. He really did eat it over, the people be saying. Sanji would then excuse himself and ask for Full Body's date to follow, and she does, as they would then leave, and he brings them out to the ship and the back behind the Baratie, and the scared Marines for now leave and go to ask for reinforcements. But as Sanji returns, he's surprised by people who were just running past him out of the restaurant, and they were just scared, of course, until the place is completely cleaned out. Big Bro Luffy didn't even say anything, and they just cleared the room. Awesome, says Yosaku. There isn't anything cool about this. They're gonna call a fleet or something, says Yami. Out of the kitchen, then barges Zeph into the dining room as he says, well, it seems I've lost all my customers, huh? Yeah, sorry, it's likely an army will be coming after me. Well, my coordinates. With a sigh, Zeph would then say that everyone should just get a move on with the ship, and the chefs yell okay, as one of them would then run through the dining room to unanchor their ship so they can finally leave, and Zeph would then ask Sanji to get their orders. Instantly approaching Nami, Sanji would say, what would you like, my lady? And she would say, the omurice? It's been a while since I've had a good breakfast. I thought you weren't a waiter, Zeph said. That's because a certain stingy chef won't let me cook when I want. Zeph responds to this with a kick to Sanji's head, leaving the group a bit surprised. So freaking unnecessary, says Sanji. But he would then ask the others what they want, and they say it before he then heads back to the kitchen. When their food is brought out, they enjoy it, they clean out their plates, and are amazed by how good it is. And as Sanji grabs Luffy's plate, the pirate would then ask, would you like to join my crew? Taken off guard like this, much like everyone at the table, Sanji then asked why he would ask that. I mean, I barely even know you. At this moment, the steps of Gin are then heard as he makes his way in. His every step left the room silent until he took a seat and took out his gun and he asked for service. Paddy then made his way out asking, well, first things first, can you pay for your meal, dear customer? Putting a gun to his head, however, Gin says that this gun was the only ticket that he needed for some free food. But this only gets him a bashing from the cook on the head, as Yosaku would then yell, who the hell does that to a customer? This bastard ain't no customer. Get out. He grabs the man and throws him to the deck, and the cooks in the back from the kitchen would be cheering. But Johnny would then say, "No, like you guys have no one but us. You could have just asked if he had even a bit of change on him." "Hell no! Who do you think we are? Some cheapskates?" "I was starting to wonder if you're cooks or bandits," Johnny would say. Patty gets riled up by this, but holds back because Luffy is present, so he heads back to the kitchen. And Luffy would then ask again Sanji, if he wants to join his crew. "I'm looking for a chef. You look have potential." "What, you a cook too?" "If I was, I wouldn't be here." With a chuckle, Sanji would say, "Guess not. Sorry, pal, sounds like fun, but I got stuff to do here." Grabbing Luffy's plate, he then walks back to the kitchen, but Luffy would then stand asking, "We'd like to have some place for our friends. I'll pay, of course." Popping his head out from the kitchen, Patty then asks what they would like, and Luffy asks if they make any dish that has meat in it. "Surprise me." "You got it." He then tells the cooks, and they start to move and get to their stations, while Sanji would then make his way in with some, dishes to be cleaned. And the cooks then quickly ask Sanji, "You really not going to take the offer? I mean, that's Straw Hat. Why the hell do you idiots care? I'm not leaving until that old man likes one of my dishes for real." "What the hell are you calling idiot, you idiot?" "Man, it's like so hard to be nice to you. Jeez." As they argued in the kitchen, Luffy, Yosaku, and Johnny returned to the ship, while he and Nami waited by the end of the rail looking off to the sea. "I'm not gonna lie, I'm surprised I'm still here," says Nami. "Yeah, that's because you can't steal my ship. If you want to say something, I won't stop you. You're my navigator." Recounting and remembering everything she has seen Luffy do, Nami would then ask, "If I asked for your help, would you help me the way you did Usopp? Was there ever any question to that? I mean, of course I would. You're my navigator." Nami would then laugh, saying, "Yeah, out of all the things you can do, you definitely don't know your way around the sea. Ironic, huh?" Of course, Luffy considers Nami more than just a navigator, but she's going to consider his need for her as something that she can use to free her people, because this may be the only way she can be Arlong. At this moment, Sanji would then arrive at their takeout, and after receiving and paying for it, the two start heading back. Just as Luffy would then see Sanji walking out with an extra plate in hand. He hands the food to Nami and follows the cook to find him giving some food to Gin, who cries as he ate it. "Thank you. Thanks so much, man." "Yeah, don't make too much noise, just enjoy it. This is kind of a secret thing," says Sanji. He then saw Luffy approaching, and the pirate then asked if he could at least know for real why Sanji wouldn't join him, for real. And Sanji would then take a puff from his cigarette and says that he wants to be a head chef here. "Wanna know my dream? To find the One Piece." Hearing this, both the men are left surprised, as Gin would then stop and lay down his plate. "If that's your dream, then give up, kid. I'm a pirate myself. We barely made it out. The Grand Line is the home of monsters." "Yeah, sorry, no. Comparing me to you is like super disrespectful. It's like comparing the heavens to a termite." "Harsh. Geez," says Sanji. "Just being honest." "Alright, I'm gonna join you on this journey then," said Luffy. As he then walked into the dining room before then opening the kitchen doors, and he is met by the stare of Zeph, and Zeph would then ask what the hell he wants. With the bow, Luffy would then say, "Let me work here." Everyone is quickly surprised, as is Sanji when he hears it, but with a smirk, Zeph would then say, "Your pirate status doesn't mean anything here, you know that, right?" Raising his head, Luffy would then say that he's very aware. "But I have my eye on someone from my crew. I'm not giving up." Gin, meanwhile, is perplexed by the young man and his bravado. He thinks it will ruin him, but Sanji would say, "Yeah, you don't recognize him without the hat on. That's Straw Hat Luffy." Hearing this, Gin would ask, "You mean the guy that has a fleet of 100,000 behind him?" At the age of 10, nonetheless. Truth be told, I'm kind of honored. But yeah, it only depends on how strong he is in the end, though, thought Gin. Now, after finishing his meal, the pirate would then leave in secret as Sanji disposes of the evidence because he wasn't supposed to give him the food. And as night falls, Usopp and Zoro wake up and learn, much like everyone, that Luffy has started to work as a cook. On the good side, Luffy is a genius and picks up everything very well in the kitchen because Zeph gave him a good chance to show his skills. And he and Sanji actually start working together on dishes as more and more people come back. Marines do arrive the next day, but they don't find Luffy or even his ship because Luffy morphed it into something small using his bankai, and they search but just couldn't find him anywhere on the Baratie. He also used Kyogetsu to make them seem as just another guy. And the customers also, actually he doesn't use anything on the customers, he doesn't come out of the kitchen, honestly. And customers roll in very quickly and another day would then pass. The next day, as lunch was about to start, Sanji would then hand a plate for Patty for his special when he and all the cooks then hear panic from the dining room. And looking out of a window, one of the cooks would then become terrified. "It's the Dawn Creek pirate ship!" The customers in the dining room then freak out more as the giant ship approaches until Gin then walks in carrying his captain on her shoulders. "Please, give him some food." "I got the money. I swear I'll pay," said Dawn. The cooks then made their way out along with Luffy, and clearly the man was a hollow shell of his former self, and due to the exhaustion he falls to the floor face first as Patty would laugh at him and everyone looks relieved because he's too weak to hurt them. However, Sanji would kick Patty aside and feed Dawn, leaving everyone annoyed, pissed, and scared as the pirate would then scarf down everything and he quickly regains his strength. "Thanks." "Yeah, no problem," says Sanji. The pirate captain would then get up and wipe himself clean, but then he swings at Sanji, which leaves everyone gasping, only for his arm to be stopped. Don feels as though he is struggling against the mountain. The resistance was immense, and as he looks up, he sees Luffy. His prideful and conniving look turns to one of horror, much like everyone else when they recognize Luffy much easier without his hat due to his new bounty, which has been spread now. Kid, please spare him. I swear I'll do anything. No, sorry, Luffy. I swear I'll do anything, said again. He even bows, but this angers Don's pride, when Luffy then grabs him by the face and holds him up. This was an incredible thing to see. The rumors of Luffy's incredible powers had been spread, but seeing this in real life, and seeing him lift this behemoth of a man so easily, was just confirming how dangerous he was. After holding up Don, Luffy would then walk to the edge of the deck while dragging him, and Zoro would then say, "Don't go overboard." Overboard? No, this is completely normal. As he reaches the edge, Luffy would then pull out Suigetsu and slash up. An invisible wave of Ryatsu splits Don Krieg's ship apart, leaving all those present baffled at the spectacle, right as a shockwave then passes them. As Don and Gin see this, and their crewmates being thrown to the sea, they realize that Luffy was similar to the monsters at the Grand Line. And targeting a muscle and nerve at this moment at Don's neck, Luffy would tighten his grip and knock out the pirate before then letting him fall and walking back into the dining room. "Alright, don't worry. If they have enough strength, your men will find something to hang on to. Alright everyone, back to lunch." "I saw that." The powerful voice of a certain someone then pierces everyone's ears as Luffy will then look back and smirk. "Ladies and gentlemen, I suggest you exit as quick as you can." He runs out and jumps as he lands on the air and starts walking forward. "What the hell is even going on anymore?" said Yosaku. "He's flying, that's incredible." Luffy makes his way over to Mihawk, who slowly is made out as he passes the split ship, and Zoro would be the first to make the distinction. "I wonder if he'll win," he thought. As Luffy soon met Mihawk face to face, the swordsman would then be instantly amazed. He noticed the incredible amount of haki being gathered beneath Luffy's feet to hold him up. "It's hard to believe you truly come from the east, you know." "Oh, why? That's kind of disrespectful." Mihawk then stood and would even see his black blade, making him smile. "I've heard Shanks talk of you quite a bit." He would then take out a little knife and ask Luffy to attack. From afar, Nami would then yell, "Luffy, you better not lose. Even I can tell that guy's dangerous." Slowly, many would gather to see this fight play out instead of running away, and the first thing Luffy would do is knock the knife out of Mihawk's hand. He did so with such speed that Mihawk didn't even realize he had done so, and by instinct he took out his blade and appeared before Luffy as he swung down. Luffy easily blocks the attack with one hand, and a shockwave would split the seas, and massive waves would rock the Baratie back and forth, while the sky slowly darkens and splits as well. "Holy shit, he blocked that blow," thought Gin. Mihawk then jumps back and lands on some debris as he notices Luffy is gone, and he instantly turns to see him behind him. You're not trash." Again, disrespectful. Also, warn me before you do something like that again. Slowly, they begin to encircle each other when Luffy then dashes and thrusts. Mihawk would then dodge and go to behead him, but he only cuts an after image right as he then spews blood, and he notices that there is a sword hitting his stomach, and as Suigetsu is ripped out, Luffy would then swing and appear behind him. In that instant, Mihawk would then explode with cuts from all over as he sees his sword be cut right to pieces right before his eyes. "He beat Mihawk that easily? Impossible," said Zeph. Zoro would then grab so hard onto the rails of the ship that he rips them off, and Usopp would then yell, "Hell yeah, Luffy! Woo!" God, I'm happy he won. Mihawk, meanwhile, just falls into despair, holding Yoru's hilt as hard as he can, unable to accept what just happened. Luffy then walks past him, saying, "If you would still like a meal, I'd be happy to accommodate." Looking up to him, Mihawk would then show a grin as he stands. "You're perfect. Your form, your power, swiftness, technique, especially haki. Sharpens to the highest degree, all of them. Please, kill me. I've lost." As this is heard, however, Luffy will then groan. "No, you and Shanks haven't fought your real battle yet. Man, you old men are so dramatic. My Yoru has been beaten. I will not fight ever again. It's impossible." This is when Luffy then walks to him and taps the sword. He and everyone then watch as the blade's parts navigate towards the main hilt, like the main part, and slowly after meeting, they melt together again. "What devil fruit did big bro Luffy eat?" asked Johnny. "He didn't." "Yeah, crazy, right?" said Nami. "How can someone do that without a devil fruit?" the passengers be saying. "That's just insane. Wait, what are we still doing here?" "I mean, their food is still really good. It's not like they're hurting us." "Yeah, he's super nice." The customers watch as Luffy and Mihawk then both approach while walking on air until they come to land, and Luffy will then bow to Zeph. "Can you have a table? I'll cook for it myself." "You are way too deceptive, my boy." "I don't know what you mean," Luffy said with a smile. Zeph then just gives up and says to come in, but not to try anything funny, and the other customers return to their spots while Sanji would help Gin with Don Krieg, and Mihawk would then take a seat. "How can you let your opponent live? Shanks didn't say you were naive." "Hey, to the victor go the spoils. Just be happy your blade is back." Luffy then heads into the kitchen as the swordsman would then watch and just look at his Yoru, and he cannot believe it. Luffy put it back together with just a little bit of haki. It's literally insane, and it shouldn't be possible. "Well, if you will not kill me, I'll have to bear the shame of the loser," thought Mihawk. He soon had a meal and left on his own little boat, never saying another word, but he simply reflected on his own power and skill, while everyone else was just surprised that everyone really had to see someone that powerful in front of them, just in the restaurant, act so humble. It was bizarre. However, Mini got reaffirmations. Zoro knew he now had the best pathway to become the strongest, and Nami knew that Luffy could help her. Sanji also noticed Luffy was serious about getting him. He was strong enough to be someone that Zeff describes as a monster, and yet he wants a little cook like him. So as night falls and the Mary once again sails with the Baratie, Sanji comes to the Mary and knocks on the door to the interior, but gets no response. Maybe they're asleep. But the door is then abruptly opened by Nami, who sees Sanji, and Sanji just instantly fawns over her before then telling her that he brought a little gift. He gives her some cake, which she accepts and tells him to come in, and Sanji heads in, but instantly becomes freaked out. Yeah, I know, bigger on the inside, says Nami. Luffy added this feature in by using his bankai, and everyone is already aware of how spacious things are inside compared to the outside. It's like Doctor Who's TARDIS, but less crazy because it's not that huge inside compared to the TARDIS. And walking around, Sanji saw the kitchen especially was filled with things that he told Luffy he wanted when he became a head chef. Yeah, he spent a bit of time making it all, from scraps no less. I can't get how his powers work, but he's the captain, says Nami. Taking a moment, Sanji then asks, ever heard of the All Blue? That's my dream, to see it one day before I die. Well, if you keep smoking, that day's gonna come sooner than later. I just say join us, don't you trust them? As Sanji ponders on this, we then fade to black. The next day, everyone was getting ready to leave as Usopp sat atop Mary's head when he then heard some footsteps, and Zoro, Usopp, and Nami turned to see Sanji arrive with his bags on hand. Mind if I hop along? Running to the new member, Usopp would then welcome the cook. Name's Usopp, I'm the second in charge around here. He's lying, they all say. Usopp then says they're making him look terrible in front of the new guy, but he says seriously though, welcome. Jumping down, Luffy then asked if he was sure he wasn't going to say goodbye to anyone, and looking back at the Baratie, Sanji saw the cooks pop out their heads and sneak out to look at them, both of them going back into hiding when Sanji sees them. Freaking immature idiots, he thought. Facing away from the ship, he said he was done here. We both have crazy dreams, and I'm guessing the same goes for you guys. Giving a nod, they all agree that this is their journey to do something crazy, and Usopp would then run to amend the sails, because obviously this was a thumbs up for let's go and get the hell out of here, and the ship begins to move as they would slowly leave, and we then go to Zeff. As he lies on his bed, he reminisces about how much of a little rat Sanji was when the voice of the young boy is then heard. Running to his window, he sees Sanji thanking him while facing away. I know you don't like this sappy stuff, but thank you, old man, I owe you my life. Nothing I say will ever be enough. The crew can see he is crying buckets though, as Luffy will then say, you really should be more honest with yourself from the start. Yeah, I'll work on that, Captain. I can call you that, right? Luffy says of course, but as Sanji then hears the voice of the cooks and turns to see them saying goodbye with tears in their eyes as well. You freaking idiot, at least say goodbye properly. Don't you dare come back, you hear? Go all the way. Sanji is overtaken by joy and even sees Zeff was trying to hold back his tears, which was a rare sight. When you come back, you better make me a dish that I actually like. I'll knock your goddamn socks off. Just wait, says Sanji. The ship of the Straw Hats then meanwhile got further and further away, and of course this was goodbye to the Baratie. Luffy then walks to Nami and asks her to hold her arm out at this point, and as she does, Luffy will then transform his Zanpakuto right as he then slices past her with it. As silence then sets in, while Nami's tattoo will then jump off her shoulder in a slightly cartoonish fashion. You freaking idiot, just tell me this stuff, yells Nami. Sanji screams in agreement as he thought he was going to behead her, but Luffy says of course he'd never do that. You don't belong to anyone, but you are part of my crew. Seeing that mark pisses me off. This is the first time that Luffy shows a real, deal with anger, and it's very clear that when he meets Arlong, there may not be much of him left of him when he's done with him. Maybe he'll just fuck with him mentally, though. Alright, anyway, Zoro, time to train, said Luffy. He then jumps to the deck, and quickly Zoro will then get up saying, you did just become the strongest swordsman. Thanks for that. But you're gonna fight here? Like, right here, asked Sanji? Luffy will then shake his head and call upon the black coffin as he confines he and Zoro in it. As Sanji is taken off guard by it, Usopp will then say that it's what Luffy uses to train them. Everything is so heavy in there, man. It's like another dimension. And we're sure he didn't eat a devil fruit. At all, says Sanji. As the two shake their heads, Sanji will then say he's joined the Bizarre crew, but he didn't even know about the Fullbringer abilities that everyone is slowly going to be developing, and he will slowly develop it eventually as well, because everyone's going to have Fullbringer powers. I got y'all. Of course, the next course is now Nami's home. Sanji would slowly fit into the little gang and grow accustomed to their weird antics, but he didn't really want to train yet because he still wants to be a cook right now for the crew. He wants to make them feel good about waking up, having breakfast and, having good meals. And as the days pass, we then go to Arlong Park. We enter it to see Arlong having just finished dinner with the Marine, and he was shivering at what the Marine told him. There's no way she actually is with him, right? Asked Kurobe. Yeah, he beat that Mihawk guy. He should be leaving us alone and going to the Grand Line, Chu states. Yeah. There's no need to worry. Just shut up and do whatever. But at that moment, an incredible amount of Ryatsu crushes the three as they fall to their knees and find it hard to even breathe. And on the pool leading out to the sea, Luffy will then enter, dragging Hachin along until he throws him aside. So, let's have a talk, Sir Arlong. I heard you angered a friend of mine quite a bit. As they shake in fear, we cut to Zoro as he and Sanji will be walking around town, and as they do, they then feel two people and turn to see some fishmen who would tower over them. They were gigantic. Who are you? You're not from here, they say. Smiling at this, Zoro then tells Sanji to stay out of his way as he takes out water Ichimonji and it begins to shine with a purple-like color. This color begins to ward off the fishmen who shake from its presence, and Sanji would be a little bit scared of it as well. How the hell are you doing that? Asked Sanji. Luffy told me what we're going to become. Fullbringers. I'm the only one at first stage, but I can at least do this, he yells, as from above then crashes a giant sword that blows away the fishmen as it craters between them. As the fishmen get up, they're then left shocked to see two demonic bone arms holding giant katana floating above Zoro. Hey, watch it, you idiot swordsman! Stop being a crybaby, yells Zoro. The demonic arms then fade as the two begin just kind of angered and stare at each other and keep going back and forth like usual. And behind a house, as Nojiko and a kid hide, they'll be watching it all baffled. He made giant arms, says the kid. Yep, he did, said Nojiko. Now, as the men argue, Sanji would then feel something and freeze as he takes out a lighter that was given to him by Zeph. I'm making this up on the spot, do not judge me. He and Zoro find that it's glowing with a yellow type of hockey, and the chef would then smirk, saying, I didn't even need training, I guess I'm a genius. You idiot, your full brain doesn't have an identity until you train it anyway. This is when Nojiko then makes her way out, and the two would then notice as Sanji then goes girl crazy, asking who she might be, while the fisherman would then run away, and Nojiko would be freaked out to the point where she punches him on the ground when he comes near her. And as Sanji apologizes for going overboard, Nojiko would then ask what the Straw Crew is doing here. There's no more to take, please, just leave us alone. Zoro would then sheath his Wado Ichimonji, saying to calm down. We came with Nami, we're helping out. Nojiko was surprised to hear this and asked where her sister is, and the two are then surprised that they're sisters, but Sanji would then say that she was actually going to see her at their house. Hearing this, Nojiko would then run to their home and doesn't stop no matter how much she trips, and she would then arrive and open the door to see Nami just sitting at the table. Why are you so sweaty? Asked Nami. Why didn't you tell me anything? Well, that's what I came here to do. I did. Before she even finished her sentence, Nojiko would then hug her and ask if she's really gonna leave Arlong, and Nami would then say to calm down because she definitely is. As they get to say things to one another that they couldn't before, Zoro will go around running crazy with his full bring and blow back and hack through fishmen. And his full bring is naturally coated with a lot of hockey, so when he finishes cutting them all down, he's very tired and has to sit down by some palm trees. And as he does, Sanji goes to Arlong Park where he meets Yosaku and Johnny. Is he done now, Sanji? We were just about to go see, says Johnny, and the three would then approach, and Sanji would then kick the gates open to see Arlong laid out in slop, like just in his own blood, along with his three men, and Luffy would proceed to then cut Arlong Park's main building in half. As he sees the sword, he then says, don't worry, they're not dead. They're not getting out that easy. As expected of big bro Luffy, said Yosaku, and they then watches the building crumble to nothing, and Genzo along with Nojiko and Nami then arrive, and they would just be kind of surprised as they see that a wretched building, for Nami specifically, watching that wretched building be destroyed felt so euphoric and liberating that she started to cry. Wait, Nami, did you have something like treasure in there, says Sanji? Luffy, you idiot! No, it's just too much. In a moment of relief, she smiles despite crying, right as Luffy then walks out, and he would then say hello to Genzo and Nojiko. I'll be taking Nami to sea, hope you don't mind. I mean, it depends on what she wants, but I can't thank you enough, Genzo said, as he would then take off his hat and bring it to his chest, and he would bow, thanking him, but Luffy says it's okay. He then puts his fist out. Is it official? With a nod, Nami would then bump his fist, saying that she's his navigator. You guys wouldn't get far without me anyway. How will Sanji's full bring evolve? How will Zoro's? How will Luffy's win against Mihawk influence the world? Find out in the next part. It's been me, Prince of What Ifs, and I hope you enjoyed this One Piece part. Peace. I'm gone.
Who alive can't put me in a box. I redefine any definition you got. I am the tiger, I'm making steps to the top. The flames, I whip it up, you just gotta hand me the rock. Take a seat, you cannot stand it. All I know, the flow harder than a Scotch bunny. Don't try studying me, you cannot manage. This ain't what you want, bitch, I'm a fucking phenomenon.